Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here among peers, fellow innovators, retail leaders. So essentially in a room, we have, everyone who's shaping Indian retail and, with technology. So it's a pleasure to be here. My name is Anuradha Sivarajan and I head the India business for SymphonyAI. Can I have my presentation up, please? So while that comes up, right, I think we're sort of living in an extraordinary, sorry, not this one. So we're living in an extraordinary moment in history, right? AI and ML, these are not niche experiments anymore. These are, real projects and the likes of Symphony AI, we have about 30 years of experience in the field of retail. And all our learning models and our AI investments have been using this knowledge and using data from 30 years of retail experience globally. This is still not my presentation, sorry. Can someone help me with our presentation, please? So India in particular, is at the center of this shift. We have one of the largest consumer markets in India, big digital investments that happen in India, right? And we also have a very unique mix of traditional retail, kirana stores, general trade. Yes, thank you very much. So we have, what is traditional retail, what we call kirana stores, to, some speakers spoke about quick commerce, we're big in e-commerce. Of course, we have modern trade as well, huge investment. So in about 10 years, in about 5 years actually from now, we will be a 2 trillion retail market, right? So you may have, again, seen some of the recent reports. The speaker before me spoke about, how 95% of AI projects fail, right? Yeah. So this is our research, right? About 88%. So the percentages vary depending on who the analyst is and what report it is. But a large percentage of AI projects never reach production. So let me add a bit of a nuance, right, in terms of why these projects fail. So a lot of the pilots that are built are on general purpose AI, right? So these have generic blank slate toolkits. Everything has to be built from scratch. The AI does not know your business, right? The AI is not trained on business language. It's not trained on business specific ontology, as we call it, right? That's where the difference with vertical AI comes, where each industry has the basic framework, and the learning models are trained with your particular industry's language. So this is an AI or a framework, a platform that speaks your language, it understands your business, right? And it has purpose-built use cases with a focus on what are the key value drivers for your particular business, right? And this also results in a lower TCO than if you decide to build it from scratch using generic models. Because again, we scale because we already have invested in this technology. Um, so what I wanted to maybe cover today was about 5 use cases. I have just 10 minutes. So, if you want to have more detailed discussions on what Symphony AI does, who our customers are globally. We work with some of the biggest names like the Walmarts, the Carrefours, the Krogers of the world. These are successful AI implementations, successful projects. So they're part of that 5%, or according to my slides, the 12% of successful projects. So if you want to talk more about that, we're at 9B and happy to talk through. But now, given the limited time, let me talk about use cases that we've actually solved for customers. So one is, of course, on assortment, right? So assortment and space optimization. So let's say a customer comes to your store and the SKU that she is looking for, the item that she's looking for is out of stock, right? So what is the substitute item? So what will the customer instead choose, right? What can I do to make sure that the customer does not leave my store and go to another store, right? So basically, transferable demand is one of the use cases that we have successfully solved for many customers. We recently did a pilot where we were able to derive quite a lot of significant uh, 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 quite a lot of significant KPIs in terms of and these are real KPIs, right? They are like sales lift, margin lift, and so on, when you have the right assortment in the store. So moving on to promotions, right? And promotions are the heartbeat of retail in India. So be it like a big Diwali sale or be it just like a weekend flash sale, right? Uh, what are the drivers that actually work? Because there's a lot of investment that happens in promotion. So can we figure out, what are the key drivers? So it could be, of course, things like sales history, promotional sales history, seasonality, all these kind of things. But also, what are the external factors? So in India, something like a final test match could drive sales for a particular promotional item. So you see on quick commerce and e-commerce, and even in offline retail, you see so many promotions being run around events like IPL, around festivals, weather related, and so on. So how do you figure all of these out? And this really is, a game changer, right? So recently for a retailer, we were able to prove to them, much to their surprise, that in a particular region, there is about 20% sales, improved sales from a buy one, get one free than from a flat 30% off. So these kind of insights that are impossible to sort of give without the use of machine learning algorithms or artificial intelligence. So moving on to the next use case. So you have the right assortment in your store. You've already planned your promotions very intelligently. But what happens if the particular item is not in the store physically, right? How do you figure that out? And of course, there's AI vision camera that we use to be able to figure this out. But also in a lot of investment scarce markets, you can take pictures as well from your phone. And you have hundreds of stores, you have thousands of stores in your retail. This is the scale that we can have, like a few seconds instead of weeks of audit where you're paying an external agent. And this is not just from, the benefit is not just from a compliance or an audit perspective, but the benefit is again like a real ROI lift that happens when you know that the customer has come to a store and has not found the right product, right? You're immediately able to fix that situation. So this is another real use case that we have solved, and for the likes of the Walmart and the Krugers of the world. And then, of course, demand forecasting. So again, India as a market, unpredictability is huge. So anything like a monsoon, again, to give you the IPL example, there's so many different aspects that impact demand, right? And it's such a diverse market as well. So, we have, again, demand sensing capabilities that we have been able to build using AI. So again, traditionally, if you see the way forecasting is done, typically you just use sales history, and we may use some kind of a statistical algorithm like a time series algorithm or something like that to come up with what the demand is. But real accurate demand forecasting can actually be driven by data like demographics, a lot of external data that, like weather. You have weather phenomenons like the El Nino and so on that are there, right? You will not see this in the sales pattern or the seasonality of last year, but this is a larger weather phenomena. So how do you track those kind of things? So it uses all of that to drive very accurate demand. And again, having an accurate forecast is make or break, right? So we recently had an example of a retailer who was able to gain a lot of benefits, I think about 15% increase in their markdown, sorry, a 15% decrease in their markdown, because they were able to sell in season and in full price most of it. So the inventory is also leaner in this particular case. So, the final use case that I wanted to share with you was on two things, right? Again, with AI, a lot of retailers are asking us about what if scenarios. They want to see a lot of simulations, and not just simulations, which analyze and give you results, but also they want data backed explanation, right? So we have platforms, overarching platforms that connect with your entire retail technology ecosystem, including your ERP, your MDMs, your business intelligence systems, your forecasting systems, everything to provide you insights. So essentially, like a chat GPT, but for your business, a chat GPT that understands your business, right? And so this is again one of our most successful products, and these are all proven products. So essentially, what I want to leave you with is, uh, of course, every company has investments in AI, and you see it in every annual report. Everyone's investing, and there is also a fear that there's so many pilots that are failing, right? So it is this nuance of working with an experienced partner, working with somebody who has a lot of successful use case, a lot of successful references under their belt, that makes the real difference, right? That takes you from a pilot purgatory to sort of successful implementation and transformational change to your business. So that's what I wanted to leave you with. We also have a roundtable on ROI, and a lot of examples in that roundtable. We're happy to give examples on how we've helped generate ROI for some of our customers. So thank you for the opportunity. Lovely meeting all of you. We had a few technical troubles in the beginning, but yeah, thank you, team.